Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Saihate and Paladin, episode 11, the penultimate one. But, with a twist, it seems like episode 12 won't be the last after all. If you wished for more Saihate and Paladin for Christmas, you will be happy to know that... Oh, there we go. Season 2 has been officially announced on Twitter. We don't know when it's coming out yet, but we know that it is coming out indeed. It's being made as we speak, actually. Well, maybe not as we speak. It's the second day of Christmas right now, so probably they have some free time, even in Japan, or maybe not. Their work culture isn't quite the best, so perhaps they are still working. Speaking of Christmas, belated well wishes to you all. I couldn't record on Christmas, obviously. I couldn't record the day after, so now I'm recording it. So everybody, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and generally a pleasant time. And I hope this year, well, not quite year, you haven't spent a year with me, you spent like 3 months, assuming you were watching my reactions from the very first one, but I hope it was time well spent. So, let's maybe not talk about that anymore, let's focus on the anime, let's focus on Saihate no Paladin. In the last episode, Will started assembling his little merry troop, his little army. We've met the... what's his face? His nickname is the Penetrator. That much I remember, but I don't remember his actual name. Now, Mal, help. Mal? Oh, Mal won't be of much help because the dude isn't listed on Mal, apparently. Aragorn the Penetrator, I'm just gonna call him. He decided to join us, and he apparently has some history with Robina, and he's really good because every quest that is given to him, he just solves immediately. He's a little bit of a Saitama, so stories of his exploits aren't quite well known, because he just goes in alone, does the job, comes back alone, and that's that. It would be interesting to see him in action. We also have a little bit of a what's it called? What's the name? Not flashback, not flash forward. Fuck. What's the name? They talked about Will fighting Aragorn sometime in the future. So we have that established, that that's gonna happen one day, and it's also gonna be cool to see Will fight another great warrior. Perhaps not someone as great as Blood, but probably someone who will pose a little bit more of a challenge from the usual monster grunts that Will has been fighting. And we set sail towards the Demon General Castle, or whatever that place is, to clean it up, to kill the demons, and to bring peace to the land, which seems to be Will's goal in the end, to get rid of any and all evil. Speaking of Will, he was also officially recognized as a paladin now. He officially has the title of the paladin. Some people were wondering all this time, where does the paladin come from, right? Like, I can see that he's a paladin, right? He has the build of a paladin, but people call him like the warrior priest or the priest or names like that. Nobody calls him a paladin. Well, there it is. Will is now officially a paladin, knighted by the crown prince and recognized as a paladin by the bishop, archbishop actually. And we learned that the bishop himself is actually a good guy. He's crass, he's rough around the edges, sure, but ultimately he's just a genuinely good dude. And I love that. And I said about it time and again, but I really love that about Saihate and Paladin. How they make you think that someone is evil, that something bad is gonna happen, but it turns out no, they're not evil. They're just regular people, or maybe they're just, good guys. But they're a little bit rough around the edges, so you immediately um get the illusion of them being bad, but they aren't. And I like that. I really like that. I hope we see more of it. Perhaps even in this episode. We'll see. We'll have to watch it to know for sure. And this is the best Christmas drink. Genuinely. I have my tea over there, but I prefer this. It's a Polish tradition. It's made by boiling dried quince, apple, prunes, smoked prunes, important, smoked pears, oranges, cloves, and cinnamon. It's called sush or kompot sushu. And it's great. Probably my favorite thing about Christmas, honestly. Keep your gifts. I don't want any. Give me a big pot of this. And we have a big pot of this. Second one actually, because the first one was drunk in like the first night on Christmas Eve, and we had to make another pot. And yes, I said smoked. You wouldn't believe how amazing smoked pear is. It's really great. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the anime. There we go. Here you have some subs. Let me double check that it really is Saihate and a Paladin. It is Saihate and a Paladin. Episode 11, version by subs, please, is gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so we have quite a large team. And yeah, we're not only going towards the stronghold, but we're also helping the villages on our way. We're establishing trade. Yeah. I I don't think anybody would believe that explanation though. That might become an issue eventually, but I don't see the crown prince or the temple doing anything that would warrant Will having to betray them. And that's done. I'm sad. I'll have to fetch myself another glass. Hmm. I wonder, are we gonna go for the journey in this episode and we're gonna attack the demon stronghold in episode 12? Or are we going straight for the demon stronghold right now in the penultimate episode? And the finale is perhaps a bridge to the sequel? Perhaps a little bit of celebration? Hmm. It could go both ways. Man, I want to see all those locations that they are showing in the OP. Those are some great locations, some great sets. Yeah, I wanna see this fight in its entirety. Does it even happen? I don't know. I haven't read the manga and I'm not gonna read it because I know season 2 is incoming. Oh, what are you doing here though? Okay. Romantic interest perhaps? Probably the latter will be more useful. Raystop, that's his name, yeah. Raystop the Penetrator. Probably not. Oh, or he's a straight badass. Yeah, you've set a precedent. Hopefully, season 2 is gonna get a little bit more budget. The art is pretty, but the slideshows with narration are the laziest possible way to tell a story. Well, maybe not the laziest, but the cheapest, and probably the least appealing. Yeah, you're reviving. You're reviving the frontline villagers. Yep, exactly. Profit. How are we gonna make profit though? Will's money is eventually gonna run out. Unless it's Tonio that supplies them with his trade business. Yeah, I guess. I guess so. Okay. So are we going to the demon stronghold? What for? Yeah. What brought it up? True, you were a full-on raider. Out with it, you fucking tsundere. Menel truly is a waifu of this series, isn't he? The perfect tsundere waifu. Oh, an avalanche, huh? Natural or man-made, though? Something big? A dragon, an ogre, a giant cyclops. Yeah, Will can get that sorted. Oh? Hmm? So someone survived? I love the atmosphere right now. Yeah. Oh! Oh! Oh, that is a lot. Oh, that is a lot of CG monsters. That's a lot of CG monsters. Buffing their party. Okay, let's go. Oh, a sling. That's interesting. That's cool. I didn't expect Will to have a sling. Oh, well, that's not good. It's a big ass manticore. He can't. Ooh, that's bad. Fire breathing manticore? Come on, Will, do something. It. Oh. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. Ooh. Who? Overeater? Okay, so he used the overeater. Is it gonna consume him though? Battle rage? I mean, as long as it works. As long as it works, it's all good. Yeah, the battle cry doesn't really work with that voice, does it? They gave you the overeater for a reason, mate. It wasn't supposed to be a decoration, you were supposed to use it in situations exactly like this one. In a life or death scenario, you use the overeater. That's its exact purpose. Will is overthinking this horribly. He's overthinking everything. Worst case scenario, you just learn necromancy and become a warlock. Oh, well, this little mission went south quickly. I honestly didn't think we're gonna see Will in much peril so soon. It's a great way to break the feeling of Will being near, undefeated. Okay, so it's all good. Or maybe not. Hmm. I would think that Overeater heals all wounds, but perhaps it only heals those, like actual wounds. If you overexert yourself, the Overeater doesn't help with that. Yeah, you're inexperienced. It's to be expected. It's good that he analyzes the situation, though. I don't think you are. I think you're just overthinking it. Ooh. Ah. Will is way overthinking everything. I think that's one of his character traits right now. Right. Will is so absurdly strong himself that he sees other people through his own lens. He doesn't take into account that other people aren't quite as strong as he is. I think they would. I think they very much would agree with you. Hmm. Suffering from success, eh? I think that's gonna be his character trait that he will have to grow out of eventually. That's also his very first actual genuine loss. He hasn't lost a fight yet. Hmm. Okay. There is something to Will's words. There is something to it. Yeah. Here's your reminder that this show is an isekai. Okay, where are you going with this? Where are you going with this, Will? What, I should travel alone? I don't deserve friends? Something like that? I should always be alone? Yeah, probably that's the direction he's going for. I don't think that's what Graceful wants, though. Oh, is that really the episode? Or are we getting some after credits scene? Huh. Hmm. I wonder where are they going with it? With Will suddenly deciding that he has to travel alone or whatever it is the decision he makes in the end. It's probably gonna be some stupid decision like, I don't deserve friends. I can't have anybody equal to me and I will bring them in trouble, so I have to be always forever alone. Uh, but that creates a situation, a mindset that Will is gonna have to grow out of, that's gonna facilitate character growth. I can see where they're going with it. Yeah, after credits scene. Mel's awake, he sees wet patch on the floor, figures out that Will was here, and runs out after him. Probably. Or not. Episode 12, The Faraway Paladin. Well, I won't be able to use that title for my video, because I used it once already. That's gonna be awkward. Okay, let's go through this episode again. Can you change the scene, please? Thank you. Exactly like that. Come on. There we go. Let's go through this episode again. Let's relive what happened. Yeah, there are a whole merry band set off not only to fight demons. Initially, I thought that this was going to be their goal, to go to the demon stronghold and eliminate the demon general and bring peace upon this little bit of land. And that's essentially gonna be the format of the show. Right? We go into some area, we defeat the local demon general, the area is safe, we establish trade and whatnot, we move to another area, kill another demon lord, rinse and repeat until the main story hits. Apparently not. Apparently, we aren't only traveling city to city, killing demons and securing the land. We're also carrying some supplies and human resources to reinvigorate, to revitalize all those villages. Yeah, Tonya was in charge of it all, bringing them tools, axes, swords, and all that jazz. Sure, Will is gonna have to remain loyal to the Crown Prince and the temple, but that shouldn't be a problem. She apparently tagged along with them. I'm joking about her being the romantic interest, seeing how she's the only female character besides B who has a connection to Will's party. I don't think she will be. Nothing points towards that so far, at least. Menel is probably more of a romantic interest for Will right now. And yeah, we'll see what happens. And of course, Bishop Bagel is a great guy. Gives them priests to heal the sick and conduct rituals and whatnot. Raystov is in his element, killing demons with a single slice to the throat. No wonder they call him the Penetrator. Well, Will, sleep on your back, just in case. Will still remembers the Wyvern. And I think Will's overthinking is his character trait, not so much as him being way too humble. I thought that is his humbleness, that was his negative character trait, but I think it's actually his overthinking. During the battle with the Wyvern, after the battle with the Wyvern, he was also constantly overthinking, right? He wasn't thinking of the end result, of the Wyvern being defeated, all the people being saved. No, he instantly jumped into thinking, what could I have done better? Right? I know that I defeated that Wyvern, but it wasn't smooth. How could I have possibly made it better? And he fell into that loop of thinking it wasn't good enough, I could have done it better, right? Essentially, a perfectionist mindset. Yeah, I think Will is just a perfectionist. And I don't mean perfectionist in the way that you usually say during like job interviews, when they ask you about your fault. So you say I'm a perfectionist because it's probably a fault, but you want to spin it as a positive. Believe you me, actual like diagnosed perfectionism is no fun. Believe you me, I have first-hand experience with it. It completely fucks up your entire life, everything you do. And I think Will experiences just that. He's perfectionist. That's why he asks, can you do this to wyverns too? And of course, Raystov replies that of course I can. If it's within the reach of my sword and I can cut it, chances are I can kill it. And they're solving some village disputes. B, of course, was of help because she's a bard, she's a minstrel, so she spreads the word of our Lord and Savior William G. Merryblood and whatnot, and lightens up the mood and all that. And yeah, the whole city is reinvigorated. Well, I mean, this scene is shot at daytime, not nighttime, so it immediately looks a little better. There are some tents with vegetables and shit, so I guess it's as reinvigorated as it can get. I just noticed this colorful horseshoes. What's the deal with that? Is the green one like orichalcum and the purple mithril or something? Why would you need orichalcum horseshoes? Yeah, money drives the world. Exactly. The party didn't come back. We need to go after them. Menel being tsundere as always. And they were killed, probably in an ambush. And yeah, one head is clearly missing. Probably got eaten. No, someone was running. Oh no, it's a trap. Oh wow, monsters. Lots and lots of monsters. I like that they're buffing their party right before the battle. I like that. You don't usually see that in anime, in manga. You usually see reactive use of magic, not proactive use. Right? You see them cast like a fireball or cast a shield right before they're hit, or sometimes they buff themselves with a shield magic or something right before they're hit, right? Uh, the preemptive use of buffs, I think Saihate and Paladin is like the second piece of media I've seen preemptive use of buffs used in. First one was Overlord, of course. The scene of Ainz constantly buffing himself before the fight with Shaltir. This is the second time I've seen a character who uses buffs proactively. Menel also has some buffs. And let's fight the CG monsters. I love that Will has a sling. I don't know why it's so cool, but it's just so cool that he has a sling. It's not a bow, because he already has like a lot of equipment, right? He has his spear, he has his sword. Carrying a bow to that would be a lot. Yeah, the sling is essentially just a leather patch and a bit of rope or a bit of like a leather strip. You can roll it up, hide it in your pocket or whatever, and it's a perfectly valid weapon. And it has a lot of firepower, actually. I made myself a sling like that, and it can it can tear through like particle board without much issue. If you really spin it hard and use like a lead ball or steel ball bearing ball, those work the best. Oh no, the Chimera! Who could have predicted that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the people who saw those great big fuck off, like, trails, footprints, paw prints in the dirt. You didn't notice that everything else here has either hooves, or is too small, or slithers around. One thing I have to say, uh, I'm not a fan of this effect on top of monsters. I know that it's supposed to signify like corruption or whatnot, but I don't know, it just looks dirty to me. It just looks dirty. I would have preferred, I don't know, some glowing purple veins, for example. That's always a cool effect to signify corruption. But this overlay, it's just lazy. It's just lazy. It's just some noise generated in Photoshop set to like 20% opacity and to overlay mode and slapped on top of the sliding PNG. I'm not a fan. I gotta say, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of CG monsters either, but honestly, I can get over CG monsters. I've seen Overlord Season 3. I've seen the Goblin Army. No CG monster is scary to me anymore after seeing that. You can't get any worse than Overlord Goblin Army. You can't. You just cannot. If there's any anime that can do worse than Overlord Goblin Army, I will be absolutely in awe. I will be absolutely in awe. Uh, Arifureta had some pretty fucking bad CG, but the Goblin Army was still worse. The perfect synchronization of the Goblin Army, the soldiers just bouncing off shields, that was top tier comedy. Really. Those monsters, that's nothing. That's those look great. Those look fucking amazing. This overlay effect I don't like. Please no. No more of that. I'm at least glad that they seem to have like masked it, so it's only on top of the creature. It's not on like the sky. So there's at least that. Of course, Menel doesn't manage to raise the wall in time. And the Manticore can apparently breathe fire. And this is actually cool. Yeah, he doesn't finish chanting thunder and gets hit by thunder. You don't see that. You really don't see that all that often. Or at all, actually. You know what? I don't think I've seen a series where magic can backfire or misfire. Usually it's like when chanting is broken because of whatever, the spell just fizzles out. I haven't seen this mechanic used anywhere in like Eastern media, in anime or manga or light novels. I don't read too many light novels, so I'm just gonna say in manga or anime. I haven't seen that. The spell being broken, the chant being broken, causes the spell to misfire and hit the caster instead. I like it. I already liked the magic system in Saihate and Paladin. This makes me like it even more. What did I do wrong? He's overthinking again. But he has overeaten. Oh no, the techniques, the tactics, none of it was here. It was blind fury as I hacked away. It's ugly, it's unsightly. Oh no, I have wronged the three of them. I know what they're doing here. That's the goal here. That's the goal here, to establish Will as someone who overthinks things like that. But it's still a character trait I don't like. And again, it's me. It's not the show, it's not Will. They are doing exactly what they have to do, and they're doing it great. It's me. I just, on a personal level, don't like that character trait in characters, where they constantly overthink things. Same right now in case of Will, right? He was given the Overeater for a reason, right? And he was told that using Overeater just makes you go on a rampage. Not like using Overeater itself, but it gives you the healing and the confidence to just go slashing away. You don't need your techniques. You don't need your tactics. Because you have healing. So it makes sense that Will forgot to, I don't know, parry. Because he doesn't have to parry. He gets bitten in the arm, he slashes the monster, and the bite gets healed. But Will doesn't look at it that way. And it's a little bit frustrating to me, not gonna lie. But it's the good kind of frustrating, you know? Like the anime, or the source material or whatever wanted the viewer to perhaps be frustrated at Will's thinking. Right? I'm not frustrated because it's executed badly, no. I'm frustrated because I should be frustrated at it. Because it's a bad character trait of Will. A character trait that he will eventually grow out of. Character growth, right? Yeah, I think that's what they're going for. They're establishing a basis to facilitate Will's character growth. So far, he didn't really have any faults. He didn't really have any negative traits. This is a negative trait that he will have to overcome and he will have to grow out of. If your character has no negative traits, there cannot be any character progression to speak of, any character growth. You can maybe grow the character the other way, right? Like Will, the perfect paladin, and whatnot, you can slowly start to corrupt them. Show that, oh, this world is actually evil, and sometimes you have to resort to corruption. Sometimes you have to kill someone because it's the lesser evil. Right? Sometimes you have to use that evil artifact of the dark god because it's the only way to save the village. You can go in that direction, but I don't think they are going in that direction. It's called Saihate no Paladin. Right? The paladin is in the title. It wouldn't make sense to turn Will into a dark knight or a warlock or whatever halfway through the series, right? So for Will to have a character arc, to experience character growth and character progression, he has to have negative traits. That's all there is to it. Yeah, heal Menel. Menel is healed. And Will just faints. That's interesting to me because I thought that Overeater has the effect of healing. That it just heals you, right? You tear a tendon, you get healed. You overexert yourself, the what's it called? Lactic acid that gathers in your muscles starts burning. Overeater heals that. But perhaps not. Perhaps if you actually overexert yourself, Overeater cannot heal your tiredness. Just plain old tiredness. Because being tired is not being damaged in any way, right? So Overeater doesn't have anything to heal. It cannot heal you being tired. It cannot heal you being sleepy. Makes sense. For a moment, I thought that maybe Overeater just corrupts the user somehow, like the One Ring or whatnot. But no, I think the quote unquote corruption of Overeater stems from the fact that it gives you a lot of confidence in just being able to slice and dice and to never be hurt by anything. I think there's no magic to it, there's no curse. It's just that Overeater makes you overly confident in yourself. Yeah, you need to rest. I like that Will analyzes the situation. I very much like that. I don't necessarily like the conclusion he comes to that, oh no, it was all my fault. How could I have done this? I almost killed Manel. I killed all those people. Oh, boo-hoo. I don't like that. But it's a good kind of a dislike. I like that I don't like that. I'm gonna say it that way. What I do like, genuinely like, is that he takes time to learn from this event. Right? Was getting caught in the trap the reason for our loss? Maybe not. Maybe if I sent a couple of scouts to figure out that maybe there is a big accumulation of a lot of monsters somewhere, or maybe so that they check if there is an exit from that road, or maybe if they, I don't know, send some spirits, some mental spirits to scout out the area and find that head, or something like that, right? They could have been more cautious. Absolutely. Yeah, we had plenty of people. All that led to a simple lack of caution. Exactly. Exactly. But I think there is something to what Will figured out right now as well. He's missing some fatal flaw. Well, he hasn't figured that out quite yet. But yeah, when you're stuck with a monster like the Wyvern Killer, yeah, I guess I am. I am the monster. And smile. Wasn't my battle tactics that were wrong? I just believed that he'd have my back. Yes. That is a mistake on Will's part. That I actually agree with. He measures everybody by his own measuring stick, or whatever they used back then. Mierzyć wszystkich swoją miarą. That's the Polish proverb. I don't think it translates very well. Essentially, he forgot that not everybody is as strong as him. They weren't in this much peril quite yet, and in every other situation, Menel was able to handle himself just fine. So Will got overconfident in his companions, essentially, right? He got overconfident in Aragorn. He got overconfident in Menel, believing them to be like super strong and perhaps on par with Will himself. But no, Will is an outlier here. He's way stronger than anybody we've seen so far. Perhaps not quite as strong as Blood, not quite as strong as Gus, maybe not even quite as strong as Mary. But he's way stronger than any member of his party. So he believed, he thought that Menel and Aragorn and the rest will be able to handle themselves. But they weren't able to, because they aren't as strong as Will. And that's another thing that he will have to overcome. I think he actually overcame it right now because he realized that he is he is an outlier. He's special. Other people aren't as strong as him. Of course, he comes to the conclusions that, oh, I don't think anybody would agree that I saved them. Oh, boo hoo. Everybody would agree that you saved them, man. If you didn't go on that unsightly evil rampage or whatever, everybody would be dead. I don't think there's any, any discussion to be had here. If not for Will, everybody would be dead. But Will doesn't see that. Will overthinks it. He goes way back to perhaps if we didn't set off, none of that would have happened. Goes way back, perhaps if a week ago we turned left instead of right, none of that would have happened. Perhaps if we didn't sell the armor and kept it, none of that would have happened. Maybe back in the days, if I picked up a magic axe instead of the magic spear, I would have been able to rescue them, right? He goes into that loop of self-hatred, essentially, to a point. And that's the negative character trait that he will have to overcome. Mm. Yeah, people have constantly told him that he's way stronger. He just laughed and shrugged it off. Yeah, my strength is beyond the pale, absolutely. And with a friend who could be my equal. Didn't want to acknowledge how strong I was, yeah. We have this weird flashback to his previous life. I'm lonely, I hate this. I don't know what's the purpose of it, besides reminding us that, hey, do you remember that it's an isekai? Because it is an isekai. Wow. We didn't lie on the cover. It truly is an isekai. It wasn't a bait at all. Yeah. Yeah, Graceful is not amused. I'll solve all of this on my own, and he will set off all by his lonesome. Because he's too strong, and his strength just ends up hurting everybody. Uh, that's how it's gonna go. Oh, fuck. That's how it's gonna go, isn't it? I think it is how it's gonna go. I'm gonna hate it. And I'm gonna absolutely hate it. But I can see why it's being done at the same time. Yeah, I think in the last episode, Will is gonna set off by his own. Then Menel and Aragorn and maybe B. Antonio are gonna catch up to him and gonna slap him in the face, say, hey, you're dumb and you know it, and they're gonna go as a party to the Demon Lord's castle or whatever. I think that's how it's gonna go because I don't think they would end the season on that bit of a sad note of Will just going on alone. I don't think they would do that. The whole series is very, maybe not light, but it's very hopeful. No, hope is like the main theme here. Uh, Hope and clearing up any any opposite of hope, any despair. Yeah, destroying all despair. That's basically Will's goal, right? Kicking despair in the face. That's the theme of this series, and I slapped my mic again. I'm terribly sorry for that. So I don't think they would end the season on a note of despair. Then again, second season was announced. So if they perhaps treat it as essentially a split core, they could end it with Will just going off alone and not wrapping anything up because they know there is a second season coming. I can see them doing it that way. Kind of like with Gate. Gate was basically a split core series that went this way. Because I don't see how they could wrap things up in just a single episode. Yeah. Yeah, I think Will might actually set off on his own. And season 2 is gonna be Will's growth past his overthinking, past his belief that he should forever be alone. I think that's what we're doing. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna have to wait a week for the next and last episode of the first season, and that will also mean that I wrapped up all of my series. Princess Principal is already completed. Tsukito Laika to Nosferatu already completed. Tact of Destiny already completed, and you will be able to find links to the playlists in the corner, or you can just visit my channel and find those playlists for yourself. Gonna be starting a next season soon. I don't know quite yet, but I'm gonna stream myself uh, going through the anime of the upcoming season on Mal or somewhere, and we're gonna pick some nice looking seasonals to watch. As far as non-seasonals go, I already know that I will be watching Symphogear from the first season, of course, because it's been recommended to me many a time, and I also heard that Tact of Destiny is basically Symphogear Light, and I liked Tact of Destiny, so I hope I'm gonna like Symphogear as well. Mm. Is there anything else I need to know about Saihate? I need to say about Saihate and Paladin? I don't think so. I think we just need to wait for the second episode. What? For the last episode, and we're gonna talk more about it then. Right now, that's gonna be it from me. So leave me a comment down below. What did you think of this episode? What do you think of Will? What do you think of his weird, odd mindset? Do you like that they're introducing that, or do you not like that? Would you rather he stayed perfect all the time? Do you think it will lead to character growth, or maybe you think that Will is gonna stay this way forever? I would hate that. But maybe you think that's gonna happen. I don't know. Tell me what you think down in the comments. How do you think it's gonna end the season itself? What do you think is gonna happen in season 2? Do you are you happy about season 2? Did you like the series? I want to know about that. And what did you think of my reaction, of course? And you can also express your opinion by leaving me a like under this video. It really helps the algorithm and all. Or leaving me a dislike. That, believe it or not, also helps the algorithm. Because YouTube only cares about interactions, not whether that interaction is positive or negative. That's just how it works. But if you leave a dislike, leave me a comment explaining why, so I can improve, right? Share this video. I don't think I ever mentioned to share the video, so I'm mentioning it now. Share this video if you liked it, and if you know someone else who will like it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified of my future releases, which is gonna be Saihate and the Paladin episode 12, and Princess Principal movies that I'm gonna start watching very soon, and of course the stream of the upcoming season where we're gonna discuss what to watch. If you really like what I'm doing, that's right, I forgot about the most important thing. You can support me on Patreon. Link is down in the description. For just $1 a month, you can get access to my Discord server. For $10, you get early access to non-seasonal shows. So it's gonna be Princess Principal movies, and in the next season, it's gonna be Symphogear. I so far earned €6 from my Patreon because someone subscribed for €10. Patreon got its cut. I got €6, but it was enough to buy my mom a gift for Christmas. So hey, thank you for that. Thank you for sponsoring that gift. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Yeah, that's gonna be it from me for today. So you guys have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, have a great New Year, or whatever else do you celebrate, and do all the good stuff. And as always, I'm gonna see you in the next episode. Uh, I got lost in my outro. That's gonna be it from me for today. And as always, do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cheers. That's it. That's my outro.